Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are really glad to have the PJ Woodlands team here to guide us through the presentation. But before I pass it over to them, I'm going to do a quick introduction and go over some housekeeping items. Let's take a look over at PJ Woodlands' page on Acelab. I'm pulling this up now. All right. So here you can see that we are in Acelab. So if you're not familiar with doing materials research on Acelab, I would say a really good place to start is using this search bar at the very top of the screen. In this case, you can toggle over to manufacturers to find their page. So here we have some general information. We've got Al's contact information here as well for you, some value propositions, products, and some inspiration photos. I'll drop this link in the page for you all so you can check this out. We're actually going to be making a few more additions to the page as well over the next week or so. So definitely keep an eye on their page and use it as a reference for yourself when you're looking to do some digging in further. You can actually also click right here to save any of their products to your firm library. That way you have it for future reference. So again, I'll drop the link in the chat for this page in just a moment. Um, Couple other things to make note of before we get started. We will be doing Q&A at the very end of the presentation today. So if at any point you have any questions, you can click that Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. Drop any questions there. We will get to as many as we can at the end. We will also do a webinar poll. So you're going to see that pop up about 3/4 of the way through the presentation. It is an optional poll, so if you're not interested in getting any kind of follow-up from the team, you can click the X, it'll go away. However, if you are looking for getting some kind of follow-up information or samples or anything like that, fill out the form, share specific information on what you're looking for. Any project details are great. And we will use that to generate a conversation with Al and Tony in Acelab. So you'll see a notification come through from Acelab within a couple days after the webinar. You can respond directly to that email or log into your Acelab account and respond to the conversations. And again, it's a great way to get some further questions answered, things like that. Also, we will have a post-webinar survey. So that's a great way to share any feedback with us on this presentation. So definitely feel free to drop any notes there at the end of the presentation. And that's everything from my end. So with that being said, I will go ahead and pass it over to Tony and Al to get us started.
Great. Well, welcome everybody and good afternoon. Thank you for joining us to learn about PJ Woodlands and our proprietary product, Stormbreak. We are headquartered in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and our first factory is located in Harrington, Delaware. And our website is pjwoodlands.com. And so I'm going to just get into this now. Here we go. So this is me, Tony Berger. I'm the founder and CEO of PJ Woodlands. I am born and raised in New Mexico, in a little town called Las Vegas, up in the Sangre de Cristo Mountains. I spent most of my career in finance, and the second part of my career has been focused on developing sustainable products. And I've done that both in the mining industry, and I've done that now in the wood plastic composite industry. And so my motivation for starting PJ Woodlands is driven by what I see is a need to utilize wood waste in a forest. And what I'm talking about there is small diameter trees that need to be thinned. And how can we utilize that type of material and make a sustainable product? And so that's really my driving force as a socially responsible entrepreneur. I'm also a CPA, which helps in managing our business. I also have with us Al England, and Al is coming to us from Ohio, and he is a 40-year veteran in the wood plastic composite industry, and he has helped many companies launch. He's with PJ Woodlands now. He is an applications engineer, and he is a blessing to our company. And he's going to talk through some of the specifics when we get to our conversation about products. So this little agenda here of 5 items is what we're going to talk about today. So I'm going to talk about the introducing PJ Woodlands and our history. We're going to talk about our extrusion operation, which is currently our first facility is in Delaware, as I mentioned. We're going to talk about Stormbreak, which is our wood polymer composite. We're going to talk about the specifics about why Stormbreak is an awesome product, and why we think it's more suitable for most applications compared to our competitors. And lastly, how we can work with you as architects. So I think it's important to describe for you in more detail what it is that's driving us. And I already mentioned the obvious need to utilize wood waste, and that's also true with plastics, which is frankly even a bigger problem in our world today. And so we utilize recycled materials in the manufacturing of our products. And when we describe ourselves as a socially responsible or socially motivated company, our definition of that extends beyond just our forests and our watershed, but to talk about the impact on the lives of others. And so we, since the beginning when I started this company, have been working very closely with a company called Unicor. Unicor is the trade name for Federal Prison Industries. They are a U.S. government corporation under their sub-agency of the Department of Justice. And Unicor operates about 82 factories in the United States that are all in federal prisons. And their mission is to skill up inmates so that when they are released, they have skills and they don't end up back in prison. So this is one of our cornerstones of our ethos and how we operate. And so our second factory that's on the drawing boards right now is going to be in a federal prison in Texas. And the motivating factor about doing this and putting our business inside of a federal prison, at least certain pieces of it, is that inmates that end up in, and I can only speak to federal prisons, but in this case, men as well. The prison we're going into is a men's facility. Is that when an inmate is released, they have a 76% chance of ending up in incarceration again. But those that work in these Unicor programs, and that would be working for PJ Woodlands, they have a 14% recidivism rate. So those that we will be employing in the federal penitentiary system are way less likely to end up incarcerated, because they're going to have skills that will allow them to support their families, come back into society in a meaningful way. And while they're working for us, we're paying them the full Department of Labor standard classification rate for that job. So that's an important consideration when you think about our products against other products. Just keep in mind that our outreach goes beyond just making a profit and making a great product. Those are important, but it's also important that we touch the lives of those in the community. And to that end, the facilities that we are looking to expand into are in communities that are, for the most part, economically depressed. They're in need of industry, and so that's one of our driving forces here. So to sort of recap what that mission statement is, it's our purpose to make sustainable products that are highly durable, to do them in economically depressed areas, and to give second chances to those who are left behind. So our tagline is sustainable materials, second chances, and stronger communities. So when we're talking about reducing waste, as I mentioned, our products are made up of recycled materials. At least 94% of all of our products are recycled food grade plastic and recycled wood. And our waste in our factory is less than 4%. So when we make a product and we end up cutting it or doing something to it and it's not usable or saleable, we're able to reintroduce that material back into our manufacturing process, and that allows us not only to save money, but it just reduces the amount of waste that leaves our facility. So these are some photographs of our facility in Harrington, Delaware. So we occupy a space that allows us to bring in all of our raw materials. We do all of our own blending. We do all of our own extrusion. Everything we do is made with US based products, so we don't bring anything in from outside of the country, and we hire locally. And we've been fortunate in Delaware to be able to attract some really awesome talent. So here's where we're located, in this little bitty tiny state of Delaware, which is really a great place to be strategically because we're near the I-95 corridor, and we're able to really ship our product. We can ship our product anywhere, including overseas, because our product is very dense and very durable. Sometimes it doesn't make sense or won't make sense to ship our product across the United States. And so we have 6 additional factories that we're planning over the next 6 years across the United States. And so, as I mentioned already, the next one is going to be in Texas. And so right now our focus seaboard area. Are you guys seeing a big screen? There we go. Oops, hold on a minute. Sorry about that. Okay. So the next part of this presentation is focused on Stormbreak, which is our registered trademark product. We call it Stormbreak by PJ Woodlands. And all of the products you're going to see presented today are made out of our proprietary blend of wood fiber and polymer composites. So at this point, I'd like Al to chime in here. And Al, why don't you walk the group through the next set of slides, if you would, please.
Sure. Well, thanks, Tony. Appreciate it. I'm delighted to be here today with Tony to discuss Stormbreak, a wood polymer composite material engineered to maximize durability and low maintenance, and was developed with sustainability as a top priority. As Tony mentioned, I've been in the PVC and WPC product development world for most of my career, including extrusion process, equipment, and materials development. I've been involved in the development of many of the building products that are on the market today. Looking at some of the differences between the Stormbreak approach versus composite materials that are on the market today. Stormbreak is a different approach to WPCs. In the WPC world, most products are co-extruded with an all-plastic cap. Much of the cost of the product is invested in these cap materials for the sake of the overall appearance of the board, color retention, and to protect the substrate from the elements. The process to place the cap on the board is not a simple one and can be rather costly. Some manufacturers attempt to dilute this high cost of the cap by lowering the grade of raw materials in the substrate. The result is the product can have a very glossy plastic appearance that looks man-made, with board properties as time goes on, getting closer and closer to building code minimums. Stormbreak is a single extrusion with no cap. PJ Woodlands invests in very high grade materials in the formulation to provide a durable, natural wood appearance with a uniform density and color throughout the entire cross section of the profile. The result is higher properties, excellent durability, and color retention combined with cost savings compared to some of the other products that are in the industry at the moment. Slide.
So as you can see here, just in this picture, if I can just add this, Al, that you see a wood grain on our material color through technology versus this plastic cap. And so if there's ever, as time goes on, the color on the inside is the same on the outside.
As you know, not all applications have the same demands of a product. For window and door trim, durability, paintability, and fastener retention are priorities in addition to dimensional stability. Stormbreak's coefficient of linear thermal expansion is about 1/2 of the typical foam PVC product, which minimizes joint and opening gap issues. In decking, retention of flexural strength, stiffness, and weather exposure, ease of installation, and color retention are all very important. For garage or patio paneling, color, dimensional stability, and to maintain tight seams and ease of installation are all keys. For marine decking and other marina components, moisture resistance, resistance to mold and decay, and elimination of leaching of ingredients from the product are all critical. Stormbreak very effectively checks each of these boxes. As Tony has described for us, Stormbreak is proudly produced in the United States at our compounding and extrusion facility in Delaware, using U.S. raw materials and for the benefit of the U.S. environment. Examination of the end of the Stormbreak in this photograph shows a single extrusion, and note the uniform density through the full depth of the product. With no density gradient, as in other products such as foam PVC or engineered wood products, Stormbreak's fastener retention and fastener head pull-through are very high, with threads and surface area of the entire fastener engaged with the Stormbreak material. This same uniformity allows us to produce a board with a uniform color throughout the full depth of the board, simplifying finishing and end cuts. With the color depth if the surface is marred or damaged by abuse or by accident, simply sanding or pressure washing the area will return the board surface to the original color. So this outlining the advantages and what's unique about Stormbreak. With no cap, we have a very flat finish. Looks very wood-like and looks very natural. And there's no PVC in this formulation whatsoever. The color through technology is a real key for the longevity and success of this product as we move the industry towards this type of technology. Dimensional stability, both thermal stability, low coefficient of thermal expansion, and moisture resistance are both absolute keys to maintaining dimensional integrity. As I mentioned before, low coefficient of thermal expansion is about 1/2 of foam PVC products, which is another real key. The moisture resistance of the base formulation with these products also give us the resistance to rot and decay. And as I just mentioned, the uniform density throughout the cross section gives us very high fastener retention. No zinc borate or other additives such as phenol or polyurethane are in this formulation, so nothing will leach from this product. The formulation is naturally UV resistant. Testing has shown over long periods of time with exposure to in actual applications and in high UV areas, as well as for accelerated UV testing, that excuse me, UV exposure has no impact on physical properties, which is quite a different challenge for PVC. PVC is loaded with expensive UV stabilizer and titanium dioxide to keep it white. We're not using any of those type of ingredients. Also, pests and termites are not interested in this product whatsoever, which we're happy to report. So low maintenance is important for the value proposition. Longer service, much longer service life than pressure treated pine or engineered wood or other wood-based products. So much of the industry, so much of the installed base, there's still so much wood that's on existing homes, and so folks are always looking for different solutions to replace the wood, have the durability of a man-made product, but still have the appearance and the characteristics of Mother Nature and what she created with a natural piece of wood. And this is actually my deck. It's on the back of my house. I put this deck in 2014. So the deck is 11 years old. I pressure wash my deck every 2 to 3 springs, depending on dirt or just what trees have put on the surface. Pressure washing takes about an hour. It's not a huge deck, but it's a very simple process. But as you can see, after 11 years of weather exposure in the Midwest, I'm in Ohio. There's no surface deterioration at all. No dimensional change to the product. And this Stormbreak applies exactly the same proven process and formulation technology as this deck was produced. Stormbreak raw material sourcing and development objectives have always been to maximize sustainability. As we recognize that this is a top priority for really the entire building industry, and being green is important to everyone at PJ Woodlands. Stormbreak is naturally resistant to rot and decay. This is achieved through moisture resistance of our base formulation, not through use of additives that are not friendly to the environment or can pollute the environment. We're proud to be diverting materials that are destined for disposal in a landfill or to incineration into our raw material stream to create such a durable and high performing product. So we are quite serious about contributing to the circular economy. We're proud to have developed a product using a proven extrusion process that will provide beauty and value for the property owner and the entire supply chain, including building product distributors, pro dealers, lumber yards, and installers and contractors. Stormbreak maximizes that value by specifying installation practices and tools used at the job site that are familiar throughout the supply chain. Value for the property owner is lasting beauty, low maintenance, and reduced callbacks.
I just want to point out, Al, that our product is both recyclable and reusable. So as I mentioned earlier, when we have waste, we are able to regranulate our material and reintroduce it back into the extrusion process. Companies that make cap products, if they have waste with those products, they can't be separated, and so they're not reusable and they're not recyclable. And we think that's a key tenet of our being socially responsible, is that worst case scenario, if we have waste material or somebody wants to replace their deck and it's made out of our material, we can take it back, recycle it, and reuse it.
So this slide lists some specifics about Stormbreak composite decking. As I mentioned, standard installation practices are the rule of the day. We all know installers want it as simple and straightforward as possible. The board can be installed on standard 16-inch on center joist spacing. The board has a groove in the side of the board to allow a hidden clip system. This allows for a clean, fastener-free surface. The surface itself is embossed with a natural wood grain for a very natural look. The surface is also non-slip. It meets all ADA standards for traction. All Stormbreak composite materials will employ our color through technology, so the color will be all the way through the depth of the product, and of course we'll have a nice selection of colors to select from. But one of the other advantages of the color through is on cut ends. It's matching the surface of the board. It simplifies some of the finishing at installation. So at the job site, contractors and installers will have no surprises during the installation of Stormbreak. Tools needed to install Stormbreak are already on their trucks. For applications like our complete line of S4S trim, Stormbreak can be primed and painted. Again, no special tools, no special materials. For certain special projects, this material can be routed with ease, with very nice sharp corners without concerns about splintering or concerns about breakaway. And another advantage of the color through technology, it really shines with routed projects because, again, the color being the full depth of the profile, the color remains the same on all surfaces after routing.
Let me just point out that the two middle photographs on the top row and the bottom row are an installation of a home on the water in Delaware that happens to be in a flood zone. And this particular installation is of a beach house, if you will, that elected to put in a 1 foot wide panel to finish off a 3-car garage. And the temperature in that room in the summer is 15 degrees cooler than it is outside. So it has a tremendous insulation property as well. And it's stunning.
As I mentioned, boards are grooved, have grooved edges to accommodate the hidden clip system. Those are available, but as well as smooth edge boards, as you see here, that are needed for picture framing and stair finishing of deck installations. This particular job site is a church meeting facility near our plant in Delaware. If you're looking for a natural wood appearance, this installation is tough to beat. Notice no glossy plastic appearance. Really at a reduced cost compared to cap composite decking. And it certainly passes the barefoot test. There's no splinters, which are always a concern with pressure treated pine decks or with cedar decks.
I'll just point out that in this installation, they opted to sink deck screws through the surface instead of using the hidden clip system,
which really give it a little more of a rustic look, which I thought was pretty smart of them to do, Tony.
Yeah, great.
So in partnership with architects, our experienced staff is prepared to discuss your ideas and ways to use this material for your projects. Complete mechanical and physical property data are available to allow you to develop concise design criteria. We can also assist you with cost analysis and evaluation of the economic justification for your specifications. Our goal is for you to be able to specify Stormbreak with confidence, and that your customers will appreciate your product knowledge time and time again as you continue to meet their needs. This is just a short list of some of the properties that are available that we'd be happy to to discuss with you, and it's going to be in this area where this material is going to shine, and we'll be looking forward to speaking with you one-on-one when we talk about the specifics of and ideas that you may have for applications and products.
Thank you, Al. This is my address here, where our factory is located at 299 Clucky Drive in Harrington, Delaware. Our mailing address is PO Box 119. There's my email address. You are welcome to email me or Al directly anytime. You also have our phone number. Be happy to field any questions that may have come up, Kayla.
Yeah, thank you guys. That was great. So let's jump into some questions. We've got a couple different people asking about the PowerPoint presentation. Are you guys able to share that with folks afterwards who are interested?
I think so, yes. I'd
Yeah,
be happy to
we
do that.
we can share the contact information of anyone who's requested that, so that'll be great. And I think somebody else is asking about the recording. We'll send everybody a recording automatically after the webinar today, so just keep an eye on your inbox for that. All right, next up. All right, so somebody's asking why you use foam PVC. Do you mean closed PVC similar to AZEX, AZEX?
We were comparing the properties of Stormbreak, which contains no PVC and is not foamed, to products that are commonly used for products like trim, for example. And trim, one of the common materials for trim is foam PVC. Hope that clarifies that question.
Yes, thank you. All right, the same person has a couple more questions. They're asking, is this suitable for ground contact?
On a limited basis. The material is in the formulation are not designed to be full ground contact, buried in the ground and what have you. The formulation that Tony's using is a formulation that keeps moisture on the surface to allow the moisture to evaporate once the weather changes, and once the sun comes out. And one way that I evaluate the longevity of my deck is whenever it rains, how quickly does it dry?
Mm-hmm.
And it dries faster than the cement patio that's right below it. So that's what I always want to see.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Awesome. Next question is, can you discuss fastening or fastener best practices?
Fastener best practices for a material like this, and again, it can depend on thickness, but best practices are pre-drilling a pilot hole, and then using fasteners or a screw fastener. As the wood plastic composite industry is developed, the fastener manufacturers have stepped up with some really wonderful solutions from a fastening standpoint. Hidden heads. Tony, what are those covers that go over the screw hole?
Cortex plugs. They're PVC
plugs. Yeah.
That are readily available in the marketplace, and they match almost any color of decking. And if you want to sink the fasteners through the top of the board, then they can be plugged. And that's and that's done many times, particularly on stair treads and the like. But what we're seeing more and more is the hidden fastener biscuits that go into the routed side of the deck, and then those are sunk into the spacer. So you've really got, you've got many options, but as Al mentioned, there's some great fastening products in the marketplace, and we could also recommend as well.
And I was not familiar with those plugs, and once I got familiar with them and used them at Tony's recommendation, I was amazed at how simple it was, and the appearances was fantastic, because you could hardly tell where the fastener was put in.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing. Yeah, thank you. Next question. Somebody's asking if it gets very hot under your feet.
No, that's one of the nice things about having a natural wood or a high content of wood natural surface is it does not heat and cool very quickly. It has good insulation properties. So it the temperature of the decks stay relatively low, and I don't want to make any generalizations, because some decks can be in the installed in the Southwest, where it can be very hot, but as a general rule, these decks stay quite a bit cooler than the all plastic capped products.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. All right. Next question is, where is this sold? It does not appear to be available in stores as such as Lowe's.
Yeah, that's correct. We are not selling into the big box stores. Right now we're selling direct, and we're establishing relationships with distributors on a regional basis. And so if you have a project that needs attention, then we would like to work with you directly. So because we're fairly early on in our launch, we want to work directly with you until we've got again, regional distribution set up.
Awesome.
It's also very important. The way that we're set up, we get immediate customer feedback, and for a new business, new product, and what have you, that customer feedback is invaluable. So it allows us to personally make sure the customer service is where it needs to be. When you go through big box stores, sometimes there's a time lag on getting information back, what have you. So it's the proper first step. Now in the future, there may be some. It should be available in many different channels.
That's good to know. All right, and that same person is asking for the approximate material cost per square foot.
Would that be for a decking project as opposed to a trim board?
It doesn't specify.
But why don't we talk about decking then, since that's Al, you want to talk about that?
Well, in decking, the cost of this product is about 40% less than what you see with the cap version, and I think we've explained the reasons for that. So the price per square foot is going to be in the $7 range.
And I think it's important to point out also that while we are looking for putting this in the hands of distributor, we have been hesitant to push our product into two-tier distribution in order to keep the cost down. So we've priced our product as if it was a B grade deck, but it really is the highest quality of material, decking material that you can buy in the market today. And we've done that purposefully to enable us to penetrate the market by working directly with architects, builders, home builders, and the like. So
It's a little different approach.
yeah, it is everything we're doing is different, and it's deliberate.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing. All right, we have a few more questions here. The surface appears to show a grain texture. Is this continuous all the way through the depth of the product?
It is not. The surface is abraded before it's embossed. So that abrasion stays there, and actually on many decks over the years, that surface, or that version was preferred by many people, because again, you know, it has a very natural appearance. So
Mhm.
it's a personal preference.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay. And this next
Let me
question
just add
is,
one thing though, when we
yeah.
talk about the finish of these products, our trim, looking at Stormbreak as a trim board, it is typically not embossed. It is a smooth finish. So just FYI, there's a difference.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you. All right. Next question is a few different parts to this question. How does your product come in? Is it in 8-foot lengths? What is the weight of your material per square foot? And what type of paint and stain is best to use on this product?
Let's start with the last part first.
Mhm.
Paint and stain. So as a decking product, it does not need to be painted, and it does not need to be stained. It's going to come in a color choice that's made by the customer. So
Yeah.
if the customer is looking for sort of a deep, darker gray, there's no treatment needed for it. But if you're asking about painting for a trim board around your windows and doors, then it can be primed with off-the-shelf materials. We have been working with Sherwin-Williams specifically. They have an awesome primer, and then you would apply your paint to the primer. So I hope that answers that question. Let's go to the first two bits of that question one more time, Kayla.
Yes. They're asking, how does your product come in? Is it 8-foot lengths? And what is the weight per square foot?
Okay.
It's manufactured in 12 and 16-foot lengths,
Mhm.
and you asked for the weight per square foot,
Mhm.
right at 5 pounds.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. And then next question is, what are the structural properties? How does it compare to wood?
That list of properties that we had in the in the in the in the presentation, for
Yeah, maybe you can pull that back up, Tony.
You bet. I'm doing that right now.
Thank you.
Okay. Let me. Are you seeing the presentation by chance? Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay. There we go. Let me go back to that slide. That's this one right here. There we go. Can everybody
Okay,
see that?
yeah, you can see that the flex modulus of this product is 540,000 psi, where typical pine or oak might be about 1.2 million. The flexural strength of this product is just short of 3,000 psi, where with wood maybe close to 6,000. So this is not a structural product. You wouldn't frame your house in Stormbreak. The the joist of the deck would be normal pressure treated, you know, 2x8s, 2x10s, 2x12s. The value proposition of this product is still high design properties, but the durability of this product is really where in the dimensional stability are really where we are bringing value.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing to keep in mind is 3 or 4 years after wood has been exposed to the elements, its structural properties are not what they are originally when they come from the lumber mill. With this product, they are. So that's really the difference when, you know, as far as performance of wood versus these other products, and that's before, you know, you have any pest issues or rot and decay issues or moisture absorption issues that we'll typically see with lumber products or engineered wood products.
Good question.
Great questions.
All right, next one is the max spacing of the joists 16 inches? I'm assuming that is.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. And then what sizes do the deck and trim boards come in?
I think Al mentioned previously 12 and 16 foot, and we could also produce a 20-foot board if that was a requirement. If that's a spec that can't be changed, we could do that.
So the deck board itself is 5.5 inches wide by just short of an inch thick. With grooves on both sides to accommodate the hidden fastener system, so the clip mates with the slot that's in the groove, and then the clip is then fastened to the joist. As far as the trim is concerned, standard S4S dimensions, which are 3/4 by, and I'm trying to do this from memory here.
2 inch, 3.5 inch,
3.5, 4.5,
5.5,
5.5,
7 1/4,
7 1/4,
9
9 1/4, 11 1/4.
Right.
Right. Perfect. Thank you guys for that. And that is our last question for now. So would you guys like to wrap us up with any final notes or comments?
Well, I'd just like to thank everybody for taking time out of their afternoon to meet with us and hear about PJ Woodlands and Stormbreak. We are all about wanting to hear from you and being able to respond quickly. We're a very nimble company. We are customer driven. And so if there's anything we can do for you as you think about speccing your next project, please reach out to us. We'd love to be a part of your team.
And
Amazing.
please don't hesitate to call or email, what have you. We are ready to respond, and would enjoy the conversations, and to understand where architects can envision applications of this type of material. It's always educational for us. So we're looking for a good technical exchange.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you, Al.
Amazing. Well, thank you both, Tony and Al. This is a really great presentation, and thank you to everyone who joined us today. Again, if you filled out the poll, we will get you connected with Tony and Al within a few days after the webinar. So keep an eye on your inbox for a message coming from Acelab, connecting you through a conversation. Again, that's a great way to, set up an additional meeting if you'd like to ask more questions or just ask more questions there. They'll also be able to send you additional materials through that conversation. So just keep an eye on your inbox for that. And again, thank you, everyone. We hope you all enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, Kayla. Appreciate
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, guys.